SwoleBenji here. Today I'm going to show you a comparison between the Gunslinger and the Soulfist, and what we're going to show you is the damage difference between speed of killing bosses, ease of killing bosses, their ults, how valuable they are, how easy their combos are to perform, how much damage their combos do, and their mobility, as well as just a little bit of comparison to the Bard class, which is my current main. So what you're seeing now is just killing bosses with the Soulfist, and here we go. We power up to Super Saiyan 3, or Hype 3 as the game calls it. We buff our attack damage, and then we do our combos, which will, they come out very quickly. No mess, no flash, no fuss, and they deal lots of damage, and they buff our attack power. Now, our Awakening skill, which is like a Kamehameha wave, you can see that it deals tons of damage. This one here is just using named mobs as an area of effective damage test, because we're going to compare that with the Gunslinger as well. So this one spell right here, it gives you lots of defense when you're casting it. It deals tons of damage, it sucks the enemies in, and they generally can't do anything, though I did miss one, so I want to show you real results of what it's like. So now we're on the Gunslinger, and we debuff the enemy so they take more crit damage. Then we do the highest possible boss damage that we can using the shotgun, which is the highest way to DPS down these bosses. And you can see we're chunking them pretty good, but we do have to avoid attacks. We do have to willy-nilly hop around. You can always stay at range and use the rifle. It deals good damage, but it's still not dealing nearly as much as the Soulfist, and that's unfortunate. So you also have to manage your stances and your guns, and as far as scaling goes, the gun character doesn't seem to scale as high. Gunslinger, that's the word. So the ult doesn't nearly do as much, but it does come out pretty quick, and you can combo it with some rifle abilities. Now, if the ult does crit, you do one-shot the boss, but of course, you still do more damage as the Soulfist, unfortunately. So yeah. And then, of course, you can combo with the shotgun. You don't have to combo with the rifle. It's up to you, however you want to play. Alright, and then this is showing the pistol build. There is a pretty popular pistols-only build because one of the class engravings means that you can't use shotguns at all. So this is showing what it would be like to fight a boss using the proper pistol build with the proper skills and the stats and the engravings. And you can see it's taking quite a while. I actually missed that shot there, but it's still fine. While it's fun to watch and it's pretty cool looking, it's not nearly as fast or as high damage as the standard Gunslinger build. But it is cool and it is fun to play, and so we debuff the enemy there so they take more crits. You can see all of those shots are crits. That's kind of how the pistol build works. We are doing lots of sustained damage, which is fine. On Guardian raids, you do want sustained damage because you do have to dodge a lot of mechanics. But I believe that the Soulfist is much better at that because of their mobility, which I'm going to show off here in a little bit. But you can see here, I don't have any problems dodging the boss attacks. I do chunk them down pretty good. But it's not as fast. So now we're showing off the Gunslinger's area of effect capabilities here, and I did kind of mess with the rotation a bit, but you can see that this ability, I forget what it's called, but when you kill certain mobs, it has a chance to proc to completely reset the cooldown, allowing you to just continuously open fire into the crowd, right? As we all wish we could do, you know, in certain circumstances, but you can see it's pretty darn good. You would use this in a Chaos Dungeon, of course. I think the Gunslinger actually is better than the Soulfist in Chaos Dungeons. And it's a lot more fun looking too, that's for sure. So we're continuing to compare. This is the mobility, the dodge, and then all of the movement skills moves you about that far. So we're back to the Soulfist now, and we're just showing off the area of effect once again. It's just one spell, kills everything super easy, very tanky. And then this is just flexing on the Gunslinger. We spawn a ton of bosses, right? And this is just showing off your immunity to being crowd controlled, and the fact that you can just kill all of these bosses in one ultimate, which the Gunslinger can't do because the Gunslinger's attacks are, there's an AoE rocket which doesn't deal a lot of damage, and then the high noon spell or whatever it's called. I don't remember the name at the moment. But again, just showing off AoE and how simple it is. Now here is the Soulfist's mobility. You can see it's much faster, and it goes further. Just a little bit further. Not too much further. Now, this is Bard gameplay. This is showing the struggle of playing a support as a DPS. So we had to use our ultimate to kill the named mobs, which the other classes didn't have to. And then this is just spawning a bunch of bosses and seeing how long we can survive as the Bard, which has lots of self-healing and shields. And this character is min-maxed for tier 2. It has all the proper engravings and stats and gear to be able to do this kind of content. So, it's... you can see here that as long as we keep our shields up, all these boss monsters, they can't really hurt us. But if we get chain crowd controlled because we're not dodging boss mechanics, in this case there's really no way to dodge it because we're just being chain crowd controlled. But in like a Guardian raid or just a regular dungeon Abyss raid, you're not going to be chain crowd controlled this bad. But you can see the survivability is still pretty good. Bards can be quite tanky, especially with their shields and constant healing, and if I'm able to build more meter, I can basically just heal indefinitely. Alright, so we're back to the Soulfist. Now I'm showing off DPS. The DPS scaling of the Soulfist is insane. I think it's probably the highest scaling DPS class in the entire game. I don't know what Reddit's talking about putting this into a C tier, saying the Gunslingers are better. I don't think so. So this is just standard DPS numbers, 37k. That is just Super Saiyan 3 and damage buff. But now we're going to add the specialization and crit, which is totally achievable at 1000 item power. Very easy to do. That's your opening of tier 2 basically. So now look at the damage, the DPS. Feel free to rewind the video. It's nearly double, alright, with the proper stats. But that's not all, okay? Because once you add even more engravings, the Grudge, look how much damage Grudge is going to give you. A lot of people don't like Grudge because it makes you way squishy, but look how much more damage we're able to do. Okay, it was like 60k and now it's 100k, okay? It added 40,000 damage. And then the Bard has no movement or... that was just trying to show off the Bard's lack of mobility. So now this is just showing off a Bard against one boss, because we saw how fast the Soulfist can kill a boss, and we saw how decently that the Gunslinger can kill a boss. Now this is the Bard's struggle of fighting the boss, right? While the Bard has no real danger of losing health and dying because she can just shield and heal herself over and over, taking the time to actually fight a boss, it does take a bit of time. So if you want to build a character that you can just solo Guardian raids when you're super geared, which is kind of what I want to do at my end game. I just want to be able to go into one of the older Guardian raids and then one-shot the boss with the Kamehameha wave. That is what I'm doing here. And then, again, more Soulfist stuff. This is just damage testing with the main combo, which we basically have 4 damage buffs running. It's pretty good. I think Soulfist scales amazingly well. And then this is just for me, so I remember what skills that I want when I actually make my Soulfist, level 50 and start playing it. You can feel free to copy this too, but this is what I came up with, as being able to stack all the damage buffs and doing full combos to just melt bosses as fast as possible. Guys, I'm SwoleBenji, thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and say Soul. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe. I make videos every single day. If you found this useful, there will be more. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. I am exploring all avenues of this game. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.